So I guess this would be a part two from a different angle. Gotta work with what we got. So I gotta use the front camera, but it is what it is. I am who I am. He was kind, he was smart, he was important. So I don't know if this is gonna be a part two. I don't really script whatever I'm gonna say, especially like if I just turn the camera on. I'm just gonna say what needs to be said. Let whatever wants to come through, is supposed to come through, needs to come through. Just let it flow. It was so nice to go back and watch myself. Like, I'm somebody who I used to dread ever having to hear my voice like played back to me or something, or like hear like a recording of my voice or something. It like physically used to make me cringe, and only because my natural speaking voice is this. It's this. Like I don't know how I would describe it, but how I used to describe it was not very nice to myself, and we don't do that anymore. So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. It sounds how it sounds, and that's just it. So I guess accidentally started recording. Accidentally in the sense of I was really just trying to just set up, just like I was doing with the video before. Like I was just trying to just set up, kind of, just a little practice, get in the habit, and I just, because I'm alone, I let my, not only just thoughts just wander, but I just let my excuse me. I just let my just whatever wanted to come out just came out. And I feel like I went like around the world, but with the whole conversation, I made it back. But I did not realize like half the conversation was not recorded because my fucking phone died. And I didn't realize it. I thought my phone was fully charged and I have it on power save, but I forgot that I could have plugged. Well, for one, I didn't intend for. It wasn't my intention to talk that long. And when I say that long, I think I talked for probably 2 hours, if not a little bit longer. Because it was like, it was over 2 hours. But that wasn't my intention when I started. I thought maybe, just say a little bit, just flow, just kind of like get in the groove of it, and then just stop it, and just use it. Like, did I like the angles? Did I like? Was it really noisy? Stuff like that. Because I have a mic, and I have the little the little adapter piece that goes into the phone. I forget that. Well, I forgot then. I remember now, but I forget that had has a USB-C port. And so I can plug my charger into the little adapter piece, and it's charging my phone, but it's still the adapter for the mic and stuff, so that my phone does that. And so yeah, so these are just all the thoughts that just roll through my brain. So I have not posted that first video. If I do, which I might, because fuck it, because even if nobody sees it, like, it's out there, and oh well. It is just me, and this is just me. I feel, because like the thoughts are like, okay, it's not that I feel uncomfortable, talking to a camera, but I don't feel like I'm talking to a camera. I feel like I am conversing with not just like myself, but just like the energy of whoever I'm talking to. Like, whether that's my best friend, whether that's, I don't know, somebody that just needed to randomly sit and, listen to a stranger talk, that, it makes me think about, like, what's coming up is, like, body doubling. Like, just sitting with someone, or having someone just sit there with you, like, while you're doing something and just talking, and they're just talking about a whole bunch of random shit, and none of it really matters. I feel like it's not that none of it matters. Let me take that part back. But, like, you know what I mean? We're not trying to, like, solve, like, a specific problem to where we need to both be, fully engaged. Like, you're doing your thing over there, I'm doing my thing over here, and I'm just, rattling off, this is just a constant stream of consciousness. I don't know. That is my favorite, or my most, even say, like, most comfortable way to communicate, share myself. I don't know the word, but whatever's supposed to be coming out. Yeah, like, that's my favorite way to do it, is to just press record. Like, I feel like as long as you can see me and you can hear me, like, that's the only thing that matters. So, I don't know. So, where the video cut off at, I think I was talking about how for my whole life. Oh yeah, I remember I ended off at, since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing. So I left off where I was thinking about how, like, all through in my childhood, I would be told, like, I'm really talented, I'm really smart, I'm really creative, blah blah blah, but I, like, never believed it within myself, or, like, I hoped that the people that were telling me this, that they were right and they weren't just bullshitting me, but, like, I couldn't find that within myself, and so, like, over the first half of my life, I don't know, it was a combination of feeling like the people that love me the most are bullshitting me, just because, like, it sounds good to say, like, oh, you're so talented, or you're meant for so much, you have so much potential. But when I felt like I was calling their bluff, and, like, well, fucking tell me what it is, like, because I'm struggling, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And then, like, oh, well, that's for you to figure out. Well, then how can you tell me that I am talented and I'm creative and I can do all these things, but you can't tell me one? The fuck? Oh, you're lying. Fuck out of here. And so that further, like, was like, well, even if you are, you don't know what it is, so that's still on you to, like, whatever. And so that's just where I was leaving off. I don't know if I have a point. I don't know. I keep wanting to go. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna need a separate, because I am gonna start posting on YouTube, and I feel like I'm gonna start posting more consistently, because I'm trying to figure out, like, storage situation, like phone storage. So I'm thinking I'll record for however long I want to record. They'll probably be long as fuck videos, but my phone only has so much capacity. So I'm thinking transfer. Well, right now, what I did, I transferred that long ass video to my Google Drive, and so I've got extra storage on my Google Drive, like 2 terabytes, I think. But so save it to the Google Drive so I can delete it off my phone, so I can do another video, like, the next time I get ready to record or whatever. And then from my Google Drive, I've never uploaded anything to YouTube, but I would assume that it should be easy for me to upload from Google Drive to YouTube. But what I'm thinking is, I feel like I'm just gonna have to have a completely separate, like, Yappers YouTube channel. Like a YouTube channel, like, specifically for these kinds of videos, where I sit down, I'm having it like sit down. I'm always sitting down. I'm driving, but so I'm driving, or I'm just, I just have time to myself, and I can just let my thoughts flow, and I can say whatever I need to say, and I can let out everything that's been like, I feel like I'm bursting at the seams with information, knowledge, and downloads, and insights, and perspectives, and thoughts, and beliefs, and humor, and real shit, and advice, and just all that shit, and just still express it, and still like as a way to be creative and to be authentic and to be, the genuine person that I am all the time in real life. But like, the only people that see that on the day-to-day basis is my husband and my kids. So, and the world deserves to see all this. But like, even as a gesture to the universe of like, hey, I'm not afraid of being seen. I'm not afraid of being creative. I'm not afraid of being authentic. I'm not afraid of putting myself out there. I don't give a fuck about what anybody says, good or bad, because understanding like how important it is to be neutral. Like, I appreciate the good. I appreciate the bad. It like everything is there to teach me a lesson. Like, got no enemy inside of me. Any adversary came here to enlighten me. Thank God she consistently reminded me that I can let go of all my anxiety. And that's my shit. Okay. Thank God it's Queen Herbie. It's on the list. It's my favorite. But to where I can just let it all out. Just say whatever, like I said, say whatever I want to say, think whatever I want to think, and just be like, here. Because even though it's normal to me, I do believe and have this it's not a suspicion, but it's also like it hasn't been quote unquote proven. Because I don't have anybody like in my life that's saying like, oh my gosh, your video touched me so much. Like, I don't know. I feel like it'll come eventually, but it's like it'll never happen if I don't ever just post a fucking video. So, and I know which is why I feel like there needs to be a separate page just for these insights, just for like, and they probably won't have like a title. They would probably just have a date. And just a date, this is the conversation. Now, in the description of the video, I may like put in there what I talked about, but I don't really, because it's not like, a series. Like, if anything, if it's like, come take a ride with me, or like sit and listen to my stream, or like turn me on when you just need to hear somebody talking in the background or something. I don't know. I don't know. I just got this vision of a friend or like a loved one is in the hospital and is God forbid, fucking knock on wood. But like, I see, or even somebody like I don't know, but like somebody like I see basically the vision I see somebody in a coma, and they can't speak, but they can hear, and they can't like move or anything like that, but like they can hear, they can like their brain is obviously still working, and so they can hear me talking, and it's like they're responding in their head, and like, because like their higher self and my higher self are like, in non-physical, and like they communicating back and forth. I see almost like these conversations of like, I see myself sitting down next to them and just having full-on conversations and just rattling off like for hours on end, but almost like I'm responding. This is so weird. But I know it's not, because energetics and all that shit. Anyways, see, like, it's like having a conversation through our higher selves almost, but so like I'm responding to what they said in spirit. I don't know, not like what they said in spirit, but like what they said like mentally, and like they're answering me, and I don't know. It kind of feels like that. It feels like I'm communicating, and it doesn't feel like I'm just talking to myself, but I'm also not like, so hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and that's not, this is not that. No shade, no shade, no tea to nobody that, you know, that's their intro, but no thank you. That's why I pay for YouTube Premium, to fast forward and jump ahead. I can't. I think I watch so much YouTube that I'm just like, I can't. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is, no thank you. Get to the shit. Are we just finna sit here and talk? We finna teach me some shit. I'm finna learn something. But yeah, I just yeah, I don't know. I think it's just, I've been on YouTube for so long, and there's so many people, so many like cookie cutter kind of like, that's not fair. No thank you. And that's been my other thing on why, like, I'm not gonna press record unless I have something to say, or unless I just feel that, like, press record, like, unless I feel like that the words that are coming up are like drive, that urge, that nudge to like, and like, unless I'm following instruction like from spirit of just like, let's press record. Just start talking. Like, no expectations, no rules, no, you know, no have tos, no shoulds, no scripts, no, you know, agendas. Just human to human, light to light, energy to energy, you know, and just put it out there, like, even just to change the reflection. I mean, to change what is being reflected so the reflection can change. Not so it can change, but you know what I'm talking about. Shit. But yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like if I'm gonna be talking, if I'm gonna be having these insights and downloads and processing and all that kind of shit, like, if I'm gonna do it in my head, I might as well record it. And then if at any point in time, whether that's now or whether that's later, but it's all now, but whatever, it's side note. It's, I don't know, I feel like I'm just, like I said, following instructions. I guess that's the best way to like describe it. I guess that's what it feels like. It just feels like, for one, I'm just being me. For two, I'm not censoring myself. You know, I'm not. There's no kind of shame or insecurity on, like I said, how I look, how I talk, how my brain goes squirrel, and just all over the place. And like the little side comments and the this and the that, and like, it just is. It just is. And whether there's an agenda, not an agenda, but whether there's like a, what's a better word? Itinerary? I like that. Whether or not there's an itinerary to the video, like a point and a purpose, like, oh, I want to make a video talking about, you know, these herbs that I feel like can heal, treat. I know we can't say the C word, C-U-R-E. No, is that right? I'm a visual learner. C-U-R-E, yeah, that's the word I'm trying to. I don't know. I don't know the rules and regulations of what you can and can't say, what are bad words, what aren't. Child, I don't know. TikTok be pissing me the fuck off. And I'll say something encouraging somebody and say, oh my God, I'm so proud, I'm so happy for you, blah, 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 blah. And the bitches will take my fucking comments down. They'll take my videos down and say I'm violating community guidelines. Well, you don't have good community guidelines, TikTok. Fight me. So, I love the people on TikTok. Well, you know, majority of y'all. No, I'm playing. But yeah, I love the people of TikTok and the community that can be built on TikTok. But motherfucking rules and regulations. Y'all need to update your AI agents to understand context and to understand what's actually going on, and not just censor somebody over a fucking trigger word. Update your algorithm. Get on your Zoom and fix that shit. There's algorithm. Look, y'all better hire some coders, hire some AI developers, and fix that shit. So that way you can see the whole thing. You can see what I'm saying. You know it's not. What, and then if they give you a fucking community guideline violation, they don't say what it actually is. They don't say what the violation was. They don't say you like this word trigger. Like, say what it is, so that way I can say nope, that's not what I said, or oh, okay, I know not to say the word fuck it cure, like, because what? Like, I'm not diagnosing anybody. I'm not, whatever. I just said the word, and because I think I was this triggered, but because it really pissed me off because I was on, I'm gonna call it Endo Warrior TikTok, and just starting to share the energy and to really like as much as I've been feeling my endo ladies, like I feel like I've been collectively feeling their energy, their pain, their sadness, their desperation, all of it, and I just have so much love and compassion and passion and motivation to like we got to do something. We got to do something. Like the endo ladies need it. Like, oh my, like what the fuck? What is going on? Like, why are so many women in like debilitating pain? Like the fact that like almost every single comment that I see, like laying on my bathroom floor, like in excruciating pain. I can't walk. I'm bedbound. Like, just what the fuck? I was like, why is nobody helping them? And it feels like I know some people are, but like, this should not be a mystery. This should not be something that like. And then I keep seeing like women like younger and younger, like getting like. Pause. Okay, so I'm back. So see, that's some real life shit. My phone saying this fell, and I don't edit, so hopefully it didn't look crazy, because all I did was pause the video and I just started back recording. So anyways, I was talking about how I think it's preposterous that there isn't for one, diagnosing, like, the fuck? Y'all can go to space, but we can't diagnose endometriosis. We can't figure out a way to not be further traumatizing these women. We can't figure out a way to like diagnose them in a way that doesn't take fucking 10 years, 20 years, that we have to do exploratory surgery. We have to do surgeries that cut on them and cause like potential permanent nerve damage and fucking, and also for it to just come right back and come back 10 times worse, like, or 100 times worse. Somebody said, like, what? That's gross. And it really pisses me off. It pisses me off in a way of like, oh no, redacted, not standing for that. Nope, nope. Control Alt Delete, return to sender. Fuck that. And it's wild to me because it's so funny because I personally have not experienced endometriosis or PCOS, but there's something, and I feel like, let me see if I can explain this in a way that it's in my head. Basically, like, I feel like because I do know what chronic pain and feeling like being at war with your body feels like, and because I know what that feels like, I know, like, when I'm in full blown, like, full body chronic pain, I can't think about anything else. Like, even if I know that, let's just say, drinking water and taking a walk would probably make me feel better, bitch, I can't fucking walk to the bathroom. I can't walk to the door, let alone, go on a walk. What? What are you talking about? Or, oh, you need to change your diet. You need to not eat such and such, such and such. Like, I can't even, like, what do you mean? I can't even get to the store to get the food, and let alone stand up and cook it. What are you talking about? This pain, the fuck? This pain is insane. Like, I can't function. And so I know what that is like on another level. And so, but I feel like what am I trying to think? What am I trying to say? Almost like I feel like there is an advantage to me, like, having gone through the pain, the physical pain that I've gone through, so I can understand pain on this level. So when it comes to my endo ladies, and I say my endo ladies because I feel like my energy just wants to, like wrap them in, like, a huge, like, blanket, like, bear hug, like, bring them together and just, like, in a blanket of golden light. And that's what I see, like, in my mind. I'm just, like, hugging them and holding them and being like, I don't know, like, I got you. So, like, I have, well, look, whether they haven't asked me to do this, but their energy has, like, their energy of, like, I wish somebody would, first of all, just care. I wish somebody would listen or would believe me, because I feel a lot of them, like, haven't been believed. And then I've felt all of this energetically, and then going and, like, reading their stories and, like, seeing their videos and seeing their comments, like, it's validated everything that I've felt prior to seeing in the 3D. And same with the remedies, the treatments, the like, herbs are my, I don't know if I would say specialty, but I've learned that I do have a talent, like a natural talent, I guess you would say, like a natural talent, natural gift for just, or it's all just coming in intuitively. But I mean, I would still count that as, like, a talent or, like, a gift or something. I don't know. I guess a gift to be able to receive the intuitive message and information and be able to create in 3D. Like, that's my way of creating, and, mixing and formulating and concocting and brewing and all the things. Like, I've done that before for a loved one, and within 24 hours or less of taking my, I still don't know what to call it because it's more than a syrup. It's elixir is the best, like, descriptor that I can come up with. I mean, I'm still spitballing and brainstorming names and shit, but it's essentially, I made a really, really concentrated herbal tincture. And then I added that to a very concentrated, reduced down, fruit and honey based syrup. And it tastes fucking delicious. And I mixed it together. So it can taste good, but it also is good for you. Because that's my whole thing of, like, most of the time medicine tastes like ass. And I don't know. I mean, I know I'm not the only one, but, like, it could be the best thing in the world and do all these great things for me. But if it tastes like ass, I'm not gonna take it. It's something about like it's hard to push past the screaming of like my nervous system, like, oh my god, this is disgusting. Like it's hard to like it's hard to like fight against my body and like, well, it's gonna be good for you. Calm down. Like, well, bitch, this is gross. So I'm like, calm down, body, calm down. It tastes good. It's nice. It's sweet. Yep. That's honey. Yep. It's good. Boom. You're like fucking healed. Boom. Pain gone. Like, and that's what happened. Like, migraines gone, anxiety, just completely gone down, and just able to just be even. And then that paired with some other supplements for like brain health and brain like energy, things like that, and focus. She was rocking and fucking rolling. And I was like, it's like I knew even though it was like one of my first times like doing something like that, like I knew it would work, but because I hadn't like seen like the 3D evidence of it, I wasn't sure. And it's just like, you know, you hope that, you know, you're able to help somebody, but like when even the results surpass like yours and theirs, like expectations, and also so fast. It was like a day and night difference. And then I gave her some more something else for sleep, and like I slept like a baby in what she said was forever. Like, she was dealing with like chronic insomnia, restless legs, just like I said, like really bad like migraines, like vertigo and Meniere symptoms, just being like dizzy and feeling like the room is spinning. You know, having to just sometimes just sit in the dark or sit like in her bed or just on the couch, and just like all she can really do is just like watch TV, you know. And just to go from that to like, she's walking around, she's cleaning up the house, she's reorganizing stuff, she's like getting stuff done, so much so to where she was able to, you know, like I said, like come back home to yourself, to where she was able to like, okay, cool, now I can, you know, I feel like I've come back down because I was in like such like a heightened state of stress and anxiety and all of this, and now I can bring it down to where, okay, instead of taking, you know, 2, 3, 4 doses a day, now I can bring it down to 2 a day, okay. And because it calms me down so much, I only want to take it in like the afternoon and the evening, so then that way I don't get, you know, sleepy or whatever during the daytime. And oh, okay, I've been really great during the day, and so now I only need it, you know, in the evening, and then I just take a little bit of the, you know, tart cherry to, you know, be able to go to sleep and sleep all through the night, and I get up early and I can start my day and I can do this, and I'm not in pain, and I haven't had any migraines, and I'm just like, oh, is you magic? And I'm just like, and the thing was like, it was so fun. It was the researching, the formulating, and when I say researching, I mean like I received like so many. I was following Intuitive 777 as I'm saying this. I was following so many like intuitive nudges and like following my highest excitement, all of that. And long story short, ended up getting the Apothecary book that was circulating on TikTok. I had seen it on TikTok a long time before I purchased it, but I was seeing it in other places, and I think I had even heard about it before I'd even seen it on TikTok. So, like I said, it piqued my interest. It was on sale, got it, and started reading through it, and then herbs that I hadn't heard before started kind of standing out to me. And so I was like, okay, that'll be nice. And then I can't remember, something else happened, and like some time had went by, maybe like a month or so. And so I wasn't thinking about it. I had the book in my stuff, wasn't really thinking about it. And when I first kind of came across, I was seeing herbs that I didn't know the name of, or not that I didn't know the name of, I didn't know exactly what they did. And I didn't take like a really deep dive in it first. And then either something happened or I just I don't know, I guess I just received one of the many downloads that come in. And I think I was just sitting around and I was just thumbing through the book. I just happened to pick the book up again after like a month. Or it might have been even longer than that. I don't know. Don't tell nobody. But I was just thumbing through it and I was really paying attention, reading, things like that. And then I just saw, I think it was the migraines remedy that first got my attention. And I was like, ooh. And then I had this person in mind. And I was like, I wonder if that would help her. And then, so I kept reading. And then it was migraines. And then there was another one. And then there was something else about anxiety. And I was like, oh, I wondered if that would help her. And then it just was like a whoosh of just, oh shit, oh, this. And then I think I was seeing the same herb pop up in like a couple of different other places or whatever for other things. And I was like, oh, ooh, ooh. And it was all just really exciting. And I was like, oh my gosh, if this works in the way that, it's saying that it will, this could, really help her. And I don't know, it was just really fun to start, formulating and seeing okay, how much of this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then, cause while I'm driving, I use my talk to text, thing or whatever. And so I'm just, saying out all of my thoughts and this and all these herbs that I'm that are coming up for me that I'm reading in a book, but it's also the intuitive, this one over this one, that kind of intuitive discernment, because I don't know anything about these herbs. And so that's where I mean the intuitive nudge of, go this way, don't go this way, look into this one, not right now on this one, that kind of, discernment. And so I use our best friend ChatGPT to organize my thoughts, because I can say everything out, but I might kind of skip over, back and forth. I might get off topic a little bit, because with the talk to text feature, that's the way that I journal, basically. And it's basically this exact same thing. I might have an idea, but I need to just get I need to word vomit it out. And how's it ringing in my ear right now? Spirit, you trying to say something? I never have it ringing in my ear. It's weird. That's different. My ability is coming back online in real time. What was I saying? Talk to text, and so I would just copy and paste the talk to text into ChatGPT. It would help me organize my thoughts, and then from there, that sparks more ideas or new ideas or whatever, and then I just keep going. I can go like that for hours, my whole shift, 8+ hours, and that's what ended up happening. And just getting in this massive just alignment and flow, and I was fucking rolling. I felt, and this is just this coming to me. This is just I felt so excited. I felt excited. I felt like I had purpose. I felt like, oh shit, I'm gonna do this, and not in the God complex sense of, oh, I'm gonna go heal this person. No, it was just kind of the herbs that I've I don't want to say discovered, but the herbs that have come to me and the herbs that have been like pointed out to me for endometriosis, PCOS, and fertility. And in that same way of like, oh my God, like this isn't, why isn't this mainstream knowledge? Why isn't anybody talking about this? And like, and then, but also that happened after I actually had like 3D proof, for my loved one being, overcoming her, situation and stuff like that so quickly. And it's also something that I made like with my hands, made it with love, all of that good energy in it. And I don't know, I felt like for the first time in forever, for the first time in forever, I felt like not so dramatic of like my life had purpose, but it was one of those like, oh yeah, I'm on the right track. It was one of those feelings, and up until that point, I hadn't really felt like that many times that I can like consciously remember. And so it just felt like everything that I've been through, everything that I've experienced, received, thought about, all of it. It just, I don't know, it felt like so many things were like clicking into place, and it just like, oh, okay, cool. And so as I was formulating, I was like, if this works, like, oh shit. And so, but then I felt this like calming kind of like, I don't know, almost like a instruction of just like, what you're doing, it is powerful, it is going to work, but it is also energetic work. And also, like, because this is an energy exchange, you need to ask permission before you start, formulating on somebody's behalf. Because what I was hearing was like, you can't heal somebody who doesn't want to be healed. You can't help somebody more than they want to help themselves. You can't, try to fix somebody on their behalf without them asking to. Just like, don't give unsolicited advice type shit or whatever. And I'm always like hey, I'm not finna, you do you, like, your life is your life, you do you, boo. But I know I felt comfortable enough starting the formulations because I know that she had been, working so hard to try to like figure out, what she could do without having to take so many medications. She just didn't know like where to turn. And so the interest was already there. But like I said, upon receiving this, hey, take a beat, explicitly ask for permission to formulate on this person's behalf. And so it was a no-brainer. And so I text her and I said, I said, hey, I've been thinking, you've been on my mind. I've been learning about these different herbs, and I was wondering if you would be open to, to me coming up with, maybe like a formula, maybe you trying it to see if it would help some of your symptoms. She was like, yeah, sure, thank you. I was like, okay, cool, great. So that was my permission slip, essentially, of like, okay, cool, keep on, you're on the right track, go ahead, doing great. So I came up with a bunch of recipes, and I say I came up with it, but like I said, it's a more accurate description of like I received these recipes. It felt, yes, I might have, I don't know if I was using my conscious mind, to be honest. Like my body was on autopilot. Like I was driving somewhere I drive a million times, so there wasn't nothing I had to think about as far as like directions wise. But everything just, those bartender shots where they line up like a fucking the whole bar length of drinks, and then they have the shot glasses in like the perfect spaced out, and then they click one and like dominoes falling, and then all of the perfect drinks like click into place. That was when I saw like everything just like clicking into place and just landing perfectly. And so fast forward, I make the tincture. I give it to her. I gave her like 9 jars. She's down to 5. So it's been working really well. But she was able, like I said, able to discern for herself, which is what I told her. I was like, that's the whole point. You being able to, like, it's not me that's healing you. Like, it's you. Like, I'm just offering tools. And that's the same thing that I want to do with the endo community or just all women in general, of just like, I want to be the catalyst. The word catalyst came up, but I think it's more of like I don't know. I guess a catalyst of remembering, maybe. I think that's what's trying to come out. But I just want to help these women remember that they have the power within themselves to heal themselves. And so, but because I understand, when you're in pain, like, fuck what anybody else is talking about. Because, bitch, if I could have healed myself with my mind, I would have fucking healed myself with my mind. And so, but like, this pain is real as fuck. And I 1,000,000% get it. And I 1,000,000% believe them. And so for me, that was like the clarity that, I don't know, I just received so much clarity recently of just like, that's where you start. Like, yes, like, mindset will come. Yes, we'll talk about, fascia and hydration and, some diet changes. I hate it when people like fear monger around food, because what works for somebody might not work for somebody else, but what doesn't work for that person might work for that person. And I hate it when people say, oh, you absolutely can't do this, or you absolutely can't eat this when you have endo, and you absolutely can't do this, but okay, bitch, I just saw like 3 or 4 other people saying that this one thing that you're demonizing as, oh, it's so inflammatory, oh, you absolutely can't do it. This other person is saying, I've been pain free for, X amount of time, and I changed this and I changed this, but let's just say I eat the thing that now this person 2 videos later is saying. So yeah, I'm just like, fuck all that. But also, like, I feel it now internally of, nah, that's some bullshit. No, that's bullshit. And so I feel like, first and foremost, let's address the pain. And so I have, I'm like this close to just finalizing the formulas. Right now, I know what herbs we're using, or I say we are, but because it's a collective, like, togetherness exchange, and I have the herbs, but I need to like finalize which ones, because I don't want to do too many at one time, but also, like, I don't know, I have always been a more is more type bitch. So, like, which is what I did for the formulation. And like I said, a lot of it is intuitive. I am going to do a formal, like, training or like certification or whatever in herbalism. It'll probably be multiple. There'll be a functional nutrition one. That's the one I'm really excited for. It's like $7,000, and I'm really excited to take that one. There's I don't know, it's a lot of stuff, but I realized throughout just everything that I've been learning and remembering and everything, like, I like learning. I mean, I've always known that I like learning, which is why I'm on YouTube 24 hours a day. So yes, so the recipes are this close to being done. I want to just, like, what I ideally want to happen is, I want to build community, and I want to curate. That's my new favorite word, because that's just about everything that I love to do in life, whether it's hosting or, making drinks, making cookies, making Swedish meatballs, and for what? For the women of the world that need it and deserve it. So I want to build a community because I see so many people like asking so many questions, and a lot of it is the same question of like, and ultimately it boils down to what did you do to help? What did you do to help your pain to do this? And like a lot of people I keep seeing the ones that have essentially like mitigated their pains or gotten their pain to such a low like tolerable threshold to where for them they feel like they've essentially cured what they were going through before. Like nobody is, or at least I haven't come across anybody yet that is making the claim that they, got rid of their endometrial tissue. And I feel like that is what skeptics are clinging to when somebody makes the claim that they cured their own like endometriosis. And they're like, well, no, you didn't because there is no cure. But what triggers me and triggers like my memory every time I think about it, or every time I see somebody say like, oh, well, it's incurable and oh, it's impossible, I always instantly get this flash of, I think the movie was called Heal. It's like a documentary type style movie or whatever, and I love docs. Fucking hair in my mind. And I just remember, and that'll be like probably like my next deep dive, like on the real after, like I've been talking, 15 more minutes. After I take a break, that'll probably be what I do. Like I watched this movie like it feels like over 10 years ago because it was before my first pregnancy. So yeah, I'm sure it was. But anyways, case studies about people healing themselves from specifically cancer, like going in, getting the scans, seeing the cancer cells on the scans, going back, not doing any kind of cancer treatment, changing whether it is like their lifestyle, their mindset, visualizing, themselves in a body with no, that's perfectly healthy, with no cancer cells, blah, blah, blah. Then they go back to the same doctor, do the same scans, no cancer. And then they remain cancer free because in this body there was never any cancer. And then another situation of a man that was I think he had an accident. I think he was in a coma, and then he was like just he wasn't brain dead or nothing like that, but he was, I don't know if the right word is like quadriplegic, to where like he couldn't move anything, he couldn't speak, he couldn't move anything, but his brain was still working. He could still hear, and his brain was working, and he could hear the doctors, I think, was tell his loved ones that like he would never walk again, and like he would, or I think he said he heard the doctor say he would never walk out of this hospital. And he said it was something about the way the doctor said it. He was like, my translation was, "Fuck that, I'm gonna show you." And I think because he said he hung on to that. He was like, I'm walking out of this hospital. And so he said for the next, I forget how long it was. Let's just say for the next 3 months. It could have been longer. It could have been shorter. I don't know. Shoot me. But let's just say for the next 3 months, he just mentally rehearsed, getting up, walking out of the hospital. And he said every day, like, cause he was like, that's all I could do. And so, because he was because of neuroplasticity, refiring those neurons, which is another thing I love talking about. Long story short, he started walking, started talking, and walked out the hospital in the same way that he saw himself doing it. And that documentary, those stories, and then later hearing about other people doing the same thing, and then even just understanding neuroplasticity and mental rehearsal when it comes to, we've heard about like legit scientific case studies of them having athletes or musicians, like so for instance like piano players. I think Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about it all the time when he talks about mental rehearsal and neuroplasticity. About I think this case study was with people playing the piano. They had this like group one, the control group had them play, let's just say like 5 scales or whatever. I don't know if that's the right terminology, whatever. Had the first group play, five notes, 5 scales or whatever, and then had them play that for, let's say, 5 weeks. And then the second group, they only played the scales. They'll only play those 5 scales in their mind. They never once touched a computer. I mean, fuck a computer. Fuck a bitch. They never once touched a piano. But for the same amount of time that, let's just say they practice 15 minutes a day. Group 1 practiced 15 minutes a day, physically playing the 5 notes on the piano. And group 2 spent 15 minutes a day only visualizing that they were playing the same 5 notes. And at the end of the 5 weeks, obviously when they hook their brains up to like I forget what it's called, but when they have the cap on and they can sense all the electrical activities of your brain and stuff and see where your nerves and stuff like that are like lighting up. So obviously they expected to see in group 1, they expected to see, the parts of their brain that are lighting up because they were actually physically doing it. Then they do group 2 and their brain, because they did their 15-minute visualization of them doing their 5 scales, still not touching the piano, their brain still lit up in the exact same way group 1 did. And so much so to where then they put group 2 in front of pianos and they were able to do the 5 scales. And after, it was stories like that are fascinating to me and just feel like a remembrance of our bodies are really they are just just bundles of energy, and we can change it. Like, what? Of course we can. And I don't know, it almost feels not common sense, but it feels like, well, duh, of course we can. And then, like I said, that makes me just like the mental rehearsal and the neuroplasticity. And then obviously I automatically think of, the cancer patients and or just any other person that's ever, healed something or directed their body to do something and it did, and all of that. And that just makes me, because I have this passion and this focus and this focused clarity to be of aid and of assistance to ladies experiencing endo. I well, if we can do it with cancer, we can do it with endometrial tissue. If we can do it with, going from if a quadriplegic can do it, oh yeah, we can most definitely talk to our liver to release estrogen. We can definitely talk to our ovaries to, just we can talk directly to progesterone and ask her nicely to come back online to get our periods back started. We can definitely, of course, yeah, duh. And then so it's and I wouldn't say played around with mental rehearsal, but it was more of when I can focus, and I'm getting much better, but when I can focus, when I'm fasting, I'll talk directly to my leptin and ghrelin, and I'll just be like, okay, ghrelin, I need you to calm down. I need you to go back to sleep. We're fasting right now. We're healing, and I need you to, I need you to chill out. Leptin, I need you to wake up. I need you to let everybody know we are full. We are fasting. Checkpoint. But yeah, talking directly to the leptin and hey girl, I need you to wake up, and I need you to come on up, and I could absolutely no bullshit. Yes, I was focusing on it, but I could genuinely feel hunger going down and satiety coming up, and I was like, okay, thank you. Like, keep that shit in check. All right, thank you, love you. Like, and kept on moving. And like, that was the time I made it. Uh, at that time, it was the longest time I had ever fasted. It was like 4 days. So 96 and a half hours, I think, or 96. I think it might have been right at 96 hours. And I was just like, hell yeah. And that's when I made, it might have been after I made the body gratitude list. Because, or no, I think that was the reason I made the body gratitude list. And the body gratitude list is what I've called it, but it's basically just literally a list. It's a Google, long as fuck Google Doc. I think it's like fucking 40, 50 pages or something. I don't know, just because it's all spaced out. But it's essentially just it's a list of every single like organ, like its body system, its organs, its muscles, its structures, its like I have them categorized by body system. So like in our nervous system, what was I trying to say? Let's just say, okay, so reproductive system. So like the woman, so reproductive system. So I got our ovaries, our fallopian tubes, our uterus, our vaginal canal, our and all the hormones that are in there. So we have estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone, and just all the things. And then for the digestive system, so I have and I'm trying to just go like from the top to the bottom, every every bit and piece, because I was feeling like I was wanting to say thank you, like instead of saying like, oh, thank you stomach for digesting my food, I wanted to specifically say thank you liver for, now why am I drawing a blank, but for what the liver does. Thank you pancreas for releasing insulin to blah blah blah. Thank you adrenals for releasing just the proper amount of cortisol for blah blah blah. Thank you. What else? Thank you. Did I put the sphincters on there? I feel like I did. I might have forgotten those. But I was like, thank you. What's that? Not the epiglottis, but the fucking is it pylori sphincter? The one that shuts our stomach off, so gas doesn't come back up. Whatever that sphincter is called, I think it's. Why am I hearing H. pylori? That's a bacteria, ain't it? I don't remember. Anyways, but you get the point. To where I was like saying like specific, like, and even if I like experience like some acid reflux or whatever, I would that's how for me, like I was able to go to that part of my body and think about like, thank you for closing, thank you for thank you stomach acid for being at the proper pH, so that way my food is digested properly and it's not coming back up, and I'm not having acid reflux anymore, and I haven't had acid reflux in months at this point. And it's weird because like I don't know why I'm burping again. I was feeling like, okay, maybe it's the cold drinks or maybe it's this, but like I was drinking my electrolytes warm and I was still burping. It was really pissing me off. So I'm thinking like, okay, I think I just need to like tap back in. I think it's just time for another fast or something, because it's a lot going on mentally and energetically, and I think my body just needs a break. And also, like I said, being over the road, and the options are suck. I was gonna try to find a nicer, more enlightened way to say it, but fuck all that. The shit sucks. We have fast food, and I be having to drive long distances for a long amount of time, and I either don't have the energy, the time, or the fucks to give to cook all the time. And I mean, it's a tiny little skill. I don't know, whatever. But also, I be trying to, release as many excuses as possible and just do it, but also like bite me. And I don't know if that needs to be edited. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna post this video, but if I do, whatever. If it gets censored, whatever. I don't care. Put it on. Fuck, I don't know. But yeah. It's me 24/7. 24/7. Like, unless I need to, I mean, I can code switch on a motherfucker. But I mean, don't we all? But I just feel living large and in charge, big boy. I don't know. Just I feel like everything is working out, and I'm just gonna keep following the flow. Whether that's 2 hour long, just yap sessions of just me pouring my heart out, pouring my brain out, or, like I said, just creating community without the trying to figure out the how part. Because like I said, I want to create a community where we talk about it, where I can share, what is coming up for me that I feel so deeply convicted in. Like, I don't know. It's because I'm wanting to make sure I come into their space as humbly as I can, because I don't experience, exactly what they experience on a day-to-day basis, but just to let them know, like, I have such compassion for them, and more than compassion, I have this drive of, wanting to bring, like I said, just aid and relief, because I feel like if I did, experience those same, debilitating symptoms, like who got time to research, bitch? I can't get off the floor. So what are you talking about? So like, that's why I feel really strongly in, like, let's address the pain first, and then we can talk about everything else. But if we can address the pain, like, for me, it's not just about using herbs to address the pain. It's using herbs to address the pain. Let's get the liver, back up and running, because the liver is the one that is responsible for dumping, like getting the like regulating estrogen. And because there's too much estrogen, there's too many androgens from testosterone, and there's 2 other androgens in our body. I forget what they're called, like TEH and something. I forgot what the other one is, but the main one is testosterone, because it's all out of whack. And so I was like, so the goal of the formulation and the herbs that are in the formulation are meant for lowering inflammation, bringing progesterone back online, healing and regulating the liver, to get the liver to regulate the estrogen. Because I didn't want to put anything in there that was going to directly focus on estrogen, like trying to balance estrogen. I'm just like, okay, for my endo women, for the symptoms that they're having, for what is coming through, for what is being validated by research, it's sounding like their estrogen is already too high. So the liver will balance the estrogen. We don't need extra herbs for that. So inflammation, progesterone, liver, and anxiety. And so, like, being able to calm the nervous system, to bring everything down. And did I say pain? If I didn't say pain, then it's pain. So yeah, did I say pain? So inflammation, progesterone, liver, anxiety, and pain. Yeah, so those 5 things. And so that's what and also like, I wanted, like, the elixir will taste good, because learning about allulose has been very, very pivotal. And I wish I had the time to get the allulose for my love when I made that elixir. And so that way we can also address the insulin sensitivity, because that's another thing. I think technically there's like 6. When I say like 6, not just 6 herbs, but like this elixir is formulated to address these like 5 to 6 things, basically, is what I'm saying. But it also tastes good. Like, you're going to want to take it, and even for the tincture, to be able to microdose that and to get like that straight shot into your bloodstream. Take it sublingually under the tongue and hold it. For like those what I call like endo emergencies of like when I think they refer to them as like flare ups, and being able to formulate it in a way to where you can take a little bit of the elixir every day, and then but when you have if you have like a surge in pain, you can double up. Everything is safe, and so that's why that's why it's taken me what feels like to me so long, but this is like it's not that long. but was why I'm being very careful and looking at the contraindications with common medications that these women could be taking, and which is also why I'm trying to like get like the base of the formulation in a way to where for the ingredients that are in there, they are safe for the general, endo community. But to where we can, if we're going to tweak things, that would be on like a person to person thing, and I can give the extra information of, well, if you take this medication or this medication or this medication, like I'm just going to not include, even though licorice root is one of those herbs that is really potent, really powerful, can be really transformative. It has a very, very high contraindication with high blood pressure patients, and so in high blood pressure medicine, and so that is something that obviously no brainer is out of the general formulation. But if at all this evolves into me working one-on-one, and just whether I'm a guide or a coach or a curator, because I'm like, first and foremost, I'm nobody's guru, I'm nobody's savior, I'm not not trying to be anybody's hero, I'm not trying to be anybody's I healed, so no, that's not me. I am your friend, I am your your neighbor, I am your, would you be my neighbor? I am just a fellow womb warrior that gives a fuck, and that I care enough to take the time and the energy, and it is actually exciting for me to, like I said, not uncover, because I feel like a lot of these herbs have been, the majority of these herbs have roots in just ancient like traditions and like culture and history, like in Chinese medicine and Ayurveda and just Native American culture, even like this is stuff our ancestors have been using, and they are the ones that discovered it. We are just needing to remember, and I feel like I'm remembering on behalf of these endo women that are in agonizing, debilitating pain. And if there's anything that I could do, like I said, even just sharing because I don't believe that this information should be behind a fucking paywall. Like, I fucking hate that. Like, I can't even count how much money I've spent on courses, how much I've spent on like PDFs and infographics and ebooks and all that other bullshit. And I don't know, that shit pisses me the fuck off. I feel like what could be, or what should be compensated for, I think that's the word that's trying to come up, is, I don't know, I feel like, yes, your energy, and yeah, okay, your intellectual property. I feel like if you came up with something unique on your own, and like this is like nobody else has ever thought about this or said this or whatever the fuck, then, and it's your own proprietary bespoke little blend and twist and all that kind of shit, then all right, okay. But also like put some energy in it, put some depth in it. Don't just like stop just trying to make a quick buck on people. Like I fucking hate that shit. So I was just like, because the original idea that came up was, I think the term is like crowdfunding or whatever. Basically, like what I saw myself doing and what I still might do is just say, hey, I come in peace, just to the endo community, and just be like, hey, this is what I've been working on. This is what has been coming to me intuitively. It's been backed up by research, for the research that is out there, because obviously there needs to be more done, because it's fucking ridiculous if there's not. But like, hey, I hear you. I want, if I can help, if you want the help, if I'm here, I'm open. Like, this is like, I just want to say, like, here, these are the herbs. This is what they're supposed to do. This is what they've done for other people. If you want to do like a less like a gentle formulation and work your way up, these are like the top 5 things that I think, or I've discerned, or that's come to me like as a message or whatever. Like, it's just my opinion. This is my opinion. There's always a quote. There's always like a fucking trigger. I don't know what that means. I don't know ADHD, but I don't claim that. I used to. I'm just like, nope. My brain is just special. That is my opinion. So yes, I just want to just give. This is the information. This is what like, this is what Spirit told me that would help. Like, this is what I think would help here, and then for anyone that, because it's like I also get and understand, like, okay, you can like be given the information of what to do, but just like I know they've heard, oh, anti-inflammatory diet, blah blah blah, this and that, but it's like I also want to just be able to, and this is where like the crowdfunding part came into it. I want to say, like, here's the formulation, here are the herbs, this is how much the supplies cost, this is where I would be sourcing them from, organic, reputable herb apothecary, basically. This is how much it is. This is how much I would need for X amount of batches. This is how much each batch would cost, essentially, for the supplies, because I would need bottles, I would need the physical herbs, I would need the supplies to make the stuff. And then if we're talking about shipping, that is where I'm trying to make sure my conscious brain doesn't get too much in the weeds of it, because I feel like, okay, we can figure that out. But if it's going to be something, which is also why I'm trying to formulate it in a way that it can be shelf stable, to where it's not going to require, I can just pack it really tightly and really securely and it not require like constant refrigeration, like my first one. My first one was fine because I knew she wasn't going nowhere. It's always going to be, so it's going to stay in the refrigerator. So it's fine that it needed to be refrigerated, and the excess was in the freezer. But I'm trying to formulate this one, and I'm pretty much there. I just need to go over the amounts and ratios and stuff. But to where there's no moisture introduced, so that way it can be shelf stable, so that way it can last longer in the fridge, but also for the process of making, bottling, shipping, and all that time, it's not going to be sensitive to it not being in the fridge, kind of thing. And so that's what I'm like trying to take extra care in. So that way, because for me, like I try to make sure like I come correct. And that I'm not just, but also I have to be mindful of sometimes my perfectionist, you know, little thing can maybe try to get in the way and say, oh, well, you can't put it out until it's absolutely perfect, which is what this is of me saying, like, fuck that. Like, just start talking about it, just start living it and embodying it. But also, like, I want to help them so bad. Like, I would even try to save up the money and make it myself and then just be able to give it away. But it's like this shit does cost money. So, but like, I would, like, I'm willing to not, like, I'm so passionate in it, even to just to get a few case studies out there of just to say here, like, just like how I did with my loved one, of just like, you know, let me take everything that's in my mind that's come to me, like I said, intuitively, but also like it's intuition, it's heart led, but also it is like conscious, like it does like make sense that this would work, and it worked. And so like I want to do that same thing with like the first like 10, 20, you know, women. And if I can, like, I feel like once, you know, I can get them some relief and some something, I feel like everything else, it'll just speak for itself, to where, you know, getting bigger equipment to be able to make bigger batches, like that'll come, you know, when it needs to come. But like that's what I don't know, that's what I see myself doing. That's what I, you know, they say to figure out what you really want to do in this life. Like, okay, if you had all the money that you know, could ever want or could ever have, or you know, you had $100 million in your bank account right now, what do you want to do? Like, now what? What do you want to do with your life? This is what I would love to do. Like, being and I know apothecary is a noun or a person type of thing, but like I also consider like apothecary being like an adjective, like, of a person. So like, but I don't know, I see it being more of like I don't know, I like the word curator, because yes, I am making these things with my hand, and so like my energy, I know, like my energy, my heart, my love is going into all of it, and it always makes me think about Maribel's mom on Encanto, Juliette. I think that's her name, Juliette. Um, uh, how she heals everybody with her food. That's what that made me like. That's the picture I get in my mind of just like I wake up whenever I want to, and I'm just like, you know, like what came to me today, or, and so I just see me having just like a cabinet full of, you know, tinctures that are steeping, and infusions, and oh, and another thing I realized, because grains are, like I say, as much as I don't demonize food, I do I don't ignore that for most people, for the majority of people, specifically those with hormonal imbalance, grains can be can cause inflammatory reactions in people that can be sensitive to that. So knowing that, and that certain alcohols are made with grains, but certain alcohols are not. Like my favorites, being tequila, being made from agave, and like, so maybe we can still drink, because I love making. Like I make a lot of drinks in general. Like my family knows, like I am the lemonade maker, the bartender, the mixologist of the family, and that was another thing. Like my lemonade was lowering another loved one's. I think it was her A1C, and just because of, I mean, like I said, I don't do any additives. It's just it's the fresh, you know, citrus and sugar and water. But I know, like, I'm not naive to the fact it's the way that I do it. It's the way that I Formulated. I don't know. It's good. But she was on blood sugar medication, and her numbers, her blood sugar, her fasted blood sugar. So like when she woke up in the morning, was lower. It was in the proper range, and it was lower than even her like normal medicine could give it. Because normally, even she was saying even with her medicine, it was still in like it was technically the normal range, but it was still a little bit higher. It was like on the high end of the range, if that makes sense. And then she didn't. She said she did not take her medicine before she went to sleep, but she tested her and she expected it to be high because we had pasta, but it was my lemon butter pasta. She had multiple cups of my lemonade, and then I even think I made like a lemon pie. It was like we were having lemon fest or something that weekend. But also those are my favorite foods. So we had lemon pie, lemonade, my lemon butter pasta. And so she was expecting because I think she had a couple servings of everything, and she expected her, blood sugar to be through the roof, and it was the lowest that it had ever been. And that should have probably been my indication then, and that was several years ago. But yeah, I don't know. It's something that I always remember, and something that she remembers too, and she would bring it up, but it tastes really good. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I want to give it all away. I want to, and just let the universe, sort out all the financial abundance side, because this is my abundance. This is my wealth. And that's also like what even just breaking the fourth wall, and that's what this video is. That's what me sitting down and making the time to just I'm not doing shit else. I mean, if I wasn't recording right now, I'd either be scrolling on TikTok with my little scroll ring. I don't use my finger. So, or I'd be watching a YouTube video, or I'd be listening to an audiobook, or I'm not tired, so I would have been, I may not have been singing out loud, but I might be singing. I might be just sitting in silence, which I've started doing a lot more. Sometimes I'll even bring my earplugs that I sleep in, and I'll just bring them up here, and I'll just sit in silence and just breathe, and then I sing "To Love and Be Loved" in my head, and just breathe and focus on my breath, and 9 times out of 10, something's gonna come through. Or even just what do I feel like doing right now? Do I want to keep sitting in silence? Do I want to keep just sitting here? I'm driving, but I'm essentially on autopilot. We go to the same fucking places all the time for the most part. So, what do I want to do? Barbecue and meal do. So yeah, like I said, I would love to just be making, tinctures and formulations and elixirs for women, and healing hormones, and, healing infertility, and so that's the other thing. So addressing the main issues with herbs first. Let's calm the nervous system down. Let's get you from sympathetic into parasympathetic. Let's calm that down a little bit. Then we can work on movement and hydration, and we can talk about fascia. And once we get you feeling better, once we get you able to sit and to breathe and to relax and to start to calm your brain down and calm your nervous system down, okay, cool. Now let's talk about how we can dissolve those lesions, or how we can even just, if you want to call it, quantum jumping into, or quantum shifting into the body that doesn't have endometriosis. If you want to, do you want to, let's talk about, what life looks like, what your life looks like living in a body that never had endometriosis to begin with, and your body is fully optimized, fully balanced, and of full health. And what does that life look like? But then also, and this is what before I recorded the video from yesterday, the thought of neutrality and remembering neutrality. So like almost like a step before we get into thinking about what life could be like, let's, because I feel like, and I think it was when I was thinking about infertility and my ladies that have dealt with infertility for and infertility is like a multi-level, an MLM. It's a multi-level situation. It could be from a couple of different things or several different things, I should say. And so I was thinking about infertility, and I was thinking about the women that experience infertility, and especially like prolonged, extended infertility, to where like they're so desperate to just carry life, be a mother, have a baby, and I feel like we hear of the stories of the women that are doing the fertility treatments, and then once they stop doing the infertility treatments and they just kind of like chill out and relax and almost and not necessarily give up, but just give their body and like their brains a break of just like, okay, fuck it, I'm not trying anymore. That's when they end up getting pregnant. It's like for me that same thing of like, okay, let's get them, let's not only just them, but all of us, let's get to a place of neutrality. And so it's almost like when we're manifesting and we're holding on to a desire or a want or what we feel like is like a need, like we're holding on to like this dream, this vision so tight to where we're not able to see or feel anything else, and like that causes like as tight as we're holding on to that dream, our body is holding on to the fear of it not happening. And explicitly, when talking about infertility, I feel like using that as the example the example, the metaphor, whatever, in this situation, I feel like for a woman that's holding on to the dream of experiencing pregnancy, having her healthy baby, her healthy pregnancy, and like that's all she wants, and like holding it on so tight, but she also feels like she's at war with her body and feel like her body's betraying her, and feel like her body has whether she feels like it's not capable or she's not deserving, like, and all of like the self-worth and the fear of it maybe not happening, or the fear of if it does happen, is something going to go wrong, or the fear of if it does happen, am I going to be a good parent, and like just all of that fear and tension and anguish. And like when they say the body keeps the score is kept in the fascia. And so that's another thing that we'll talk about. But just being able to slowly, like how I want to walk the endo ladies down the ladder of womb health, I guess, or womb care. I want to be able to walk the infertility ladies down of just to get to like, can we loosen just a little bit. And I feel like the way to do that is to grieve the possibility, to feel the feelings, of that, the fear that we're holding on to, that's stuck in our bodies and that's stuck in our just everything, and we're holding on to it so tight. I feel like to be able to loosen the grip on that, and to not that we're saying like we're giving up on the dream, that we're saying well, fuck it, I just don't want kids, and trying to trick ourselves and convince ourselves that we don't want kids. Like that's not the thing. It's more of like what does my life look like if I don't become pregnant? Like what is the fear? And we get to the root of the fear. We get and also it can just exist as it is, like and to just grieve that life, because I feel like when we can properly grieve something and in a sense like let it go, it helps you. At least for me, in the grief that I've dealt with in my two stillborns and all of that, like in allowing yourself to process that grief. Not that you're never sad again, or not that you're never that was about to make me go off on a tangent. But that you can start like I said, it's almost like, at least to me, the way I've been able to relate to it, it's like when a loved one dies, or like for me, like I said, when I had my two stillborns. Um, I know for me personally, I did not allow myself to grieve either time, and they were what 6 years apart, I think, um, 5 or 6 years apart, and I know like all of that grief was still just trapped like in my body, and I don't know. It's just when there's something about being able to get to a place of being good with it and being good without it. And then obviously I hear Nero in my head of just, manifestation is shifting to a place where you are no longer emotionally dependent on your external circumstances changing. Essentially, I feel like I got that right. But essentially, like, you're good with it and you're good without it. And I don't know, like for me, like that, it originally felt so counterintuitive, because it almost feels like, well, if I say I'm good without it, then I'm not gonna get it. But it's like that. It's like that's how our ego like tricks us into holding on to it, or like certain fears. I mean, I do feel like certain fears, if we build them up enough, just like how in society we have certain so like collective beliefs or whatever, but like we can have that for ourselves, and they're referred to as egregores. But essentially, to where like if enough energy is placed on this one thing, like it starts to take a life of its own, and just like any, let's just say like ball of energy, like it wants to survive, just like our ego, like it wants to survive, it wants to, you know, do what it was created to do, and like for the best way to say it, unfortunately, this egregore of fear of, let's just say it's a fear of, never being pregnant, never being a parent. In the case of women, like, I have this fear of never being a mom, never, giving birth, never, whatever. And that, let's just say that's the fear. And when there's so much fear and angst and stress and everything around it, and so the fear of infertility has become its own egregore within you, to where now it's being created to perpetuate the fear. Like, it lives off of the fear of you being infertile, and like no matter like, so which is why like I said, this is my opinion. And just also just what I've seen and heard and felt intuitively, like spiritually. But it just feels like the let's just call it the egregore of infertility. Its sole purpose, and like the way that it stays alive, is to keep you in that, like, in the fear, in the energy that created it, and the energy that created it is the fear of infertility. And so, which is why you can do things, and like Mira says, you can't change an effect by changing an effect. It's like, and so in what am I trying to say? It would look like doing all of these fertility treatments to try to force something to happen, but all the while still in your mind, which is where everything starts, perpetuating and keeping for one, you are keeping the fear of infertility alive, but also your egregore of infertility is keeping that energy pumping alive in you, because you could be doing all the things with the hope of, of having that baby, of having your dreams come true, but like all the while you're doing it, the egregore is like, well, but that like it's never happened, and you've done IVF 5 times, how many more times, like all the chatter, and it feels like it's sabotaging us, but like it's really, I mean, this is definitely not in any way insensitive. or not meant to be insensitive in any way. It's more of the egregore just wants to stay alive. Like the energy just wants to do what it was created to do. It's not anything personal. It's not. I know it feels that way. I know it feels like even for like our ego, it feels like our ego is against us and is sabotaging us, and and wants the worst for us. And that's not it. It's just the way that it was programmed. It's the way that it was created. It was for the egregore. It was the energy that created it. And so I feel like it's really just about us getting conscious of what we got going on. What energies do we have going on in our life that, like, when we can be aware of them, like, then it becomes a choice of, do I want to continue to believe this? Do I want to continue to keep this fear of infertility alive and pumping in my body? Well, if the answer is no, okay, what are my steps to, or what do I need to do to release that? And it's really just making the decision to release it. It's making, and like for me, it felt like it should be more complicated than that, and it kind of pissed me off that it wasn't more complicated than that. But then when I realized that it wasn't more complicated than that, and just and allowed it to be that easy, it really was that easy. Now, in the moment that you decide that you will no longer, that's what I'm trying to say. In the moment you decide that you no longer subscribe to the fear of infertility, in that moment, it's done. And what I didn't understand, because I feel like people don't really articulate it as well as they need to, or as well as people need to be able to hear it. What I had to figure out for myself was, but I'm sharing that, what I needed to hear. It's, yes, it's done now, but also in the next now, you need to keep that same decision. The thing is, you can't decide. I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, but in this now moment, you decide, I no longer subscribe to the fear of infertility. But in the next moment, when like it's still spinning in your atmosphere, or in your atmosphere of awareness, I guess. I like that. I didn't remember that. But like, it's still spinning in your atmosphere of awareness. And so in the next moment of now, in the next and the next and the next and the next and the next, are you going to go back to it's like, this reminds me. It's almost like, your Miranda rights. Like, you have the right to be silent. And so, like, if you invoke that right to be silent, okay, you can be silent. That is your decision in that moment. Oh, I like that. That is your decision in that moment to be silent. But you have the right, you have the free will to waive that right and to give that right back over, and to start talking like, oh, but wait, oh, but I didn't, like, and you have that right. You can do that. And so, but now you went from the seat of being silent and making the decision to do this. Well, you can't sit in two chairs at one time. Now you're sitting in the seat of, now you've waived your right. Now you're subject to, everything else, everything you say can and will be used against you. So I feel like same thing with this, and this is all coming to me in real time, and I kind of like that analogy. That kind of helps me, even just for my own personal journey of, because I see it as like the seat of having and the seat of really just not having. I guess you can call it the seat of lack or whatever, but the seat of having it, the seat of not having, the seat of deciding, the seat of wavering. And you can't sit in two chairs at one time. And so, but there's also just like you decided to wave, just like you decided to go from the chair of having to the chair of lack, you can also just go back from the chair of lack to the chair of having. And I feel like that is the work, and being more aware and being more conscious and being, more cognizant of your thoughts, and what is your what has been your default, and what do you want your new default to be? Like, do you want your default to continue to be in that energy of, like I said, using fertility as an example, but do you want to continue to keep the fear of infertility alive and well in your body? Well, if you don't, beloved, well then, I hate that it's like, not that I hate, that's strong. Calm down, Jamal. I know how infuriating it feels to be told it's an easy decision, or it's a like, it's just that simple. Just decide to have it, like, and I'm not like that. That aspect of what we call manifestation has been, well, was, whatever, like the hardest part for me personally to overcome. I'm just like, the fuck you mean? But once I realized, like, I think it was when I just allowed myself to redefine what manifestation meant. And how am I talking about manifestation? How do we go from women's health to manifestation, y'all? I told you, my brain be all over the place. But, and this is why I think notes might be good for me, just to stay on topic, but whatever. This ain't one of them videos. This is why I would have my own YouTube channel, just specifically for these. Because it's not a rant, it's not a tangent, it's more of just a stream of consciousness. So, whatever. But what I guess started clicking for me was when I allowed myself to release the definition of manifestation that I've been sold previously, of like, manifestation is attracting something to you or trying to get something. And when I allowed myself to be open to the possibility that the actual manifestation definition is more of, I feel like the two people that, well, because Richard Dotts explicitly talk about manifestation. I feel like Richard Dotts does talk about manifestation. I just don't remember what his definition was. I watch a lot of Nero, so I remember his definition of manifestation, I guess, the most, because it's like the most fresh in my mind, and also it's the one that hit like that bell of truth in my soul of just, and also it just makes so much sense of just the neutrality and having, like, if the only reason why we desire something is because we're remembering that we have it in, like, in a, not future, but in like a parallel life, it's because we already have it and we're remembering it, and we're supposed to, I don't all of these topics are what are on my mind 24/7, like all the time. Like, it's feels like an endless rotation of all of this, and so I'm exhausted. What is this, an hour 48? So I don't know. But you see why I need people to talk to about this, so we can bounce ideas off of each other, so we can talk for hours and just have that back and forth. Because if I can talk for 2 hours, tell myself, oh my god, so for real, oh my god, so, and just have my moments of just, I don't know. But if I could do this by myself, imagine what I could do with a group of people. But also, I need like-minded individuals, still open-minded, but like-minded individuals. So that's the other thing. So, like, on the professional side of things, apparently, I am, like I said, I'm very intentional in genuine with what I feel like I'm meant to, share with the world in a professional capacity, in a business type sense. But I'm also remembering to not wait on perfection. Still be intentional. Like, I'm not gonna, put some bullshit out there, but it doesn't, like, every little single piece, every little how, who, what, when, where, why, doesn't have to be in perfect, meticulous place before I just start. Because that's where, like, the overthinking takes over. So, ideally, and maybe that's what the next video is about, probably gonna go back to my drawing board and not come up with, but like just, mentally go over, okay, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is who I serve, this is my like desired outcome, this is what I want to happen. Like, I don't, like, if I could just help everybody and just not be like quote unquote famous, like, oh, that would be a dream. Like, I don't want to be, I don't have any kind of desire to be in like the spotlight and people know my name. They're gonna say my name in lights. No one's gonna stop me. You'll see I will go far. What's my name? And I don't know, I guess I'll put my name in the description, but you'll find out. I'm just playing. My name's Jessica. But yeah, but because I don't like intros, I don't like, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Like, I'll put that in the description. Okay? And if it's your first time, if it's your 10th time, hey, howdy do, oh, welcome back. But not even welcome back, because it's like, I'm not sitting on stage talking to an audience. Like, I'm talking to you. And you know who you are because you're watching this video. Duh. And if nobody watches the video and it's just me watching the video, hi self, I love you and I'm very proud of you. And we're about to go back and we're still driving and we're gonna go back and watch this whole 2 hour long. It feels like a solo podcast. It feels like, but without an agenda. She's the fit the bad bitch agenda. But yeah, I don't know, because I watched the other like hour long, I'm gonna call it episode, and I loved it. And just sitting and watching myself, and like, even though I know it's me and I know what I said, I was still like just watching her, like, just passing the time, just watching this person that I have unconditional love for, just just be themselves and just pour their heart out. So yeah. So if by chance, because I'm thirsty, what was I saying? I feel like I left off on something I need to say real quick before I jet. Oh, I was saying my ideal customer, but no, not customer, but my ideal, and I don't like I want to create my own words because I don't like the current words right now. Like, I don't like the word, like, for me personally, not anybody else. I don't like the word customer. I don't like the word client. I don't like the word patient. I don't like the word, there was another one that just scurried away because it was like, ooh, I don't want no smoke. But because I don't see people as transactions. I don't see it as like, oh, like, yes, it is, it's a give and take. I don't know. I don't know if it's, I don't think I have resistance to words, but because words carry energy and because words, are important and the words that you use are important and the words that you say out and the way that and obviously, yes, your intention matters, but also the words that you use do matter. And so, which is why even when, like, I don't want to ever invalidate women that are experiencing endo, but for me right now, it feels because I see them as whole and as healed and as holy. I don't see them as broken and bruised and this thing loud. This thing is loud. I'll turn it off. That's probably still hot in Arizona. But because I don't see them as broken and bruised and anything but the perfection that they are, and I hold that vision for them, and I know what's possible for them, I don't see them as patients. I don't see them as customers buying my products. I don't see them as, things that need to be fixed. I don't see them as victims. I think that was the other word. I don't see them as victims that need to be saved. I see them as women. I just see them as women that just need a reminder, and that need to be held, and that need and like deserve, like, to be held, to be listened to be believed, to be cared about, to be thought about, to be just wanted and desired and given unconditional love. And if I could even just sprinkle just a little bit of that into the world through my own, uniqueness, quirkiness, or just, the way that my brain works, or the, whatever. Like, if, like, it sounds cliche, but like I get why it's a phrase of like, if I could just help one person, like, that would be amazing. Like, my life would be fulfilled. And it's like I said, and it's not about me, and that's my thing. Like, I want to make sure, as valid as my personal experience is to all of this, when I'm coming into 777 again, when I'm coming into this space of women experiencing endo, which is why I say experiencing endo, because I feel like they're experiencing these symptoms, but that doesn't define who they are. I don't see these symptoms as permanent. I don't see this diagnosis as a death sentence, or as impossible or incurable or anything other than an experience. And I feel like all experiences, good, bad, and indifferent, are inherently temporary. Because just like this illusion is temporary, I just feel like everything is. And then I always just go back to, if we can mentally rehearse, or whether we're shifting, whether we're quantum shifting, whatever the fuck it is, if it can happen, like, if we can do that for cancer and quadriplegics, we can do it for fucking endometriosis and everything else under that umbrella. And I'm just like, well, goddamn it, we're gonna fucking do it, and we're just gonna do it, period. Because why not? Why would we not? So yeah, I want to give away the knowledge, the education, and invite women in my world and create community. So, because I'm never, claiming that I have all the answers, or that I have all the knowledge, or that whatever, which is why, like, for me, even just for my personal, reasons, like I said, I'm looking into, herbal, like herbalist type, like, certification, so that way I can, perfect my formulations. Because right now I'm going off of intuition, yes, yes, research, but it's more of like, I'm more going off of like, I'm following my heart, but also doing it, like I said, in a safe way. That's why I said, like, I'm still researching and making sure, like, okay, making sure, like, okay, what herbs have the least amount of, contraindications with, medications and things like that. So that way, because I don't ever want to be recommending something, which is always why I would have a disclaimer of like, hey, do your own research. If you feel like this is a fit, I'm here, and I would love to formulate for you. I would love to make the, make the elixirs, make the balms, for topical use. I even have prototypes in my mind for a wearable heating pad. Not the ones you see on Amazon. It's much better. But even like figuring out like how to make that happen and how I can have a more cost-effective version of that, but then how I can have like a high-tech rechargeable heating pad version of that. Like there's so many like perfect like little juicy things. Like unlimited money, this is what my money would be on, and it would be fucking fire. And not because I'm, like I said, it's yes, I know I would use these products, but also it's like, oh, this would help them so much. Like, oh, that would be awesome. Like, I would love to just like just take it and just send fucking care packages and just feel better. And then, like I said, and then we can talk about diet and lifestyle and exercise and this and that and all the other shit that is valid. Like I said, I'm never discounting any of that, but I feel like there's so much entangled. There's so much just all just wrapped in. It's like fascia. It's all just intertwined and wrapped up together. And like I said, if I could just help one person, that'd be amazing for her, and fulfillment for me too. So yeah, like I said, I don't ever want to come in and I'm never coming in to claim and to take up space in the sense of like trying to make my voice the loudest one. Absolutely not. I only want to, like I said, curate and create space to give other women that are going through and experiencing these symptoms, give them the chance to express themselves and just be seen and be held and be heard and be loved, because that's what it feels like to be loved, to love and be loved. And Teddy Swims also has a song. What's the song called? I can hear it, but I'm trying to hear the chorus. The chorus is the name of the song. Oh, because that's all that really matters. This was. I should have seen the song. But yeah, because that's all that really matters. He says, find something you can come home to. Find someone that'll die for you, because that's all that really matters in the end. Find something. I think I just said the second part. I don't know. Go listen to the song. And then the other one, I think I mentioned it, of course, in the other video, but my number one song, To Love and Be Loved. Her first name is Annie. I don't know what her last name is. You can find her on Spotify. And then my number one favorite artist that I have been following her journey for, we should make that Look At Me Now video, probably 12, 13 years ago probably. Her name is Amy Noonan, another one of my amazing Amy's. And stage name Queen Herbie. When I think about her, and this is so, I was gonna say niche. My ego wanted to say cringe, but like the good part of my ego was like, bitch, we're not cringe. We're vulnerable. There's a difference. But when I think about her, who she is as a person, when I feel like I'm almost like, not like tapping into her energy, but I like through her music and through, because as she has evolved as a person, as an artist, the music that she puts out, like in the because words are important, the words that she uses are so fucking good. and it's just so good. I would be here for another hour talking about how much like she's helped, her music has helped, um, and yeah, I don't know. I just music is life. Music has saved me. Music has saved my life. Like quite literally, like after my second stillbirth, Renaissance had just came out. I think Renaissance came out on the, I want to say 29th of August, 2022. It might have been, was it July or was it August? I think it was August. I feel like it came out right before then though. I don't know. I know Renaissance came out, I think it was the week of, I have to go look it up. But I had my third quick, I'm not going to go into this because I'm not going to cry. Third C-section was my second stillborn, and at 21 weeks. And, obviously traumatic. Renaissance was the thing that got me out the bed. And when I say Renaissance, I mean Renaissance as a whole. Like, that album, like, for me, Renaissance is one thing. Like, I could not hear a single song out of order. Like, if I was, like, scrolling on TikTok, because it had just came out, it was everywhere. But, like, I would hear bits and pieces of a song, and I would have to go listen to the full album. Like, I could not skip around. There were no skips. There was no nothing. Like, I know, like, for that hour, because I think it's almost exactly like 59 minutes from beginning to end, for that exact hour, and I would do things based on, and I could tell time based on what song was on. It's weird because, like, if I know I started at such and such, if I started at 3 o'clock taking a shower and I turned Renaissance on like at 3, and if I know I'm still in the shower and let me see if Honey comes on, I know it's about like 3:45, and like 3:45, almost like probably like 3:50, and then or just like whatever. Virgo's Groove is about the 30-minute mark, if I'm not mistaken. Because I could be off, but yeah, I could tell time. That's how, like, when I tell you, like, it would get me. That was like, yes, I have my daughter, and yes, I was still like caring for her, but it's why I like went back over the road so fast, because like I needed my husband to be able to step in and assume that role. Just so I could, like, yes, I was up, yes, I was driving after like I don't know, it was maybe 5 weeks, because I think because I didn't really have, because it all happened so sudden, I didn't really have I said I wasn't gonna talk about this right now. It's not that I don't want to talk about it. It's not. I'm not. Not over it. It's just once I start talking about one aspect of my pregnancy, birth journey, situations and stuff, it just ties back into the whole thing. And like I said, I'll be here for a whole another hour. So if I do decide to post this, I mean, if it's already 2 hours and 8 minutes. If you're here, if I feel like I probably will post this, and I don't know. Just congratulations. Feel lucky, I guess. I don't know. That's because and also that's a whole other 2 hour plus long situation. Just everything that happened with the first stillborn at 40 weeks. I say 40 weeks, it was 39 weeks, 6 days, and then the second stillborn 5 years later at 21 weeks. The perfectly healthy, how is she about to be 7? Like, what the fuck is life and time? Jesus Christ. that perfect birth right in the smack dab in the middle of both of them. And she's amazing. She is perfection. And just that's a whole other thing. Yeah, I need to take a break. I gotta get fuel anyways. I'm about to stop. So, if you are watching this, and if you know a way to circumvent, I think is the word I'm looking for, the copyright guidelines, so I can listen to music and not get my videos muted, because driving and jamming is my shit. And I want to be able to share that part of me without worrying about like copyright licenses and all that legal shit, and then getting my video shit taken down. Shit pisses me off. So help me out. I'm always like trying to figure it out and Google it. The best I've come up with right now is that I probably have to, because like I download songs on my phone, and I have this app that I love, and they want me to update it, and I'm not gonna update it because I don't want. I've been scarred from updates of apps because ChatGPT had me fucked up one time and took away two of the main features of the app, and then it's like, I'm running to your manager. I literally wrote like emails and reviews, and then in like I think a few weeks, I don't know if it was just me because I didn't accept another update, but like all of a sudden I realized like, oh shit, my thing is back. So I don't know if they did that for me or they did that for everybody. But when the new update pops up, I'm not taking it. So ChatGPT keep popping up an update like, nope, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me three times, you can't get fooled. What JW say? Now all I hear is J. Cole. Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again, is what George said. And then J. Cole said, fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. Fool me three times, fuck the peace lines, blow the chopper, let it rain on you. So, but yeah, I want to be able to share, like I said, that's another, like, I've just accepted that's another, like, creative side of me, and also my most authentic side. And like I said, for the people that know me in real life, how can you ever know anybody? But for the people that do have the pleasure of knowing me in real life, they know that, like, yeah, I'm always singing, I'm always dancing, I'm bopping to something. Which is why I have the wireless headphones. I always have a headphone in my ear, singing, bopping, and just grooving and jamming through life. Always got to, even when you don't feel like it, because then you feel fine. And if you don't feel like it, if you feel like a level 1 and like, bitch, I'm sad, and like, bitch, I'm pissed off, go to level 1, and better yet, create your own playlist. And that's the other thing. There's music, there's scent, there's smell and taste and touch, and all of those things. Sensory. So sensory alchemy. That is me. I am the sensory alchemist. And that for me feels the most, I don't know, that feels the most like me. And even like every day I'm evolving and stepping into what, for me, sensory alchemy is, and what sensory alchemy means, and what sensory alchemy can mean for other people. And this is, I think, probably my first time I've spoken it out loud to any other energy other than myself. So there's so many things happening. Sensory alchemy, House of Soft Power, Womb Alchemist, and just all the things. Just mind, body, heart, soul, energy, all of it. Love. And if by chance there is somebody watching this, and if by chance there's someone that's watching it has a womb, and if by chance you have ever felt at war with your body, at odds with your body, if you've ever experienced the pain or the anguish or the desperation of 888 as I'm saying this, I'm here even just to hold space, just to remind you of who the fuck you are, okay? And who you are, who you came here to be, and the power you are capable of, and the power that is inherently inside of you, inside of each and every one of us. And when all is said and done, you believe God is a woman. Because she is. Because you are. I need to hydrate. I need to hydrate. I need to fuel. I probably need to get something to eat, but I need to tap into my own body. I don't know if I want to fast or if I want to eat. A little bit of both. A little bit of nothing at all. A little bit of everything as above, so below. This feels like a good video chat with your friend that you don't want to get off, but ta-ta for now, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to go. I love you. I guess we could say I'm pretty comfortable. I don't have a camera now. It's so funny. Like, fuck the fourth wall. It is what it is. I'm recording a video. It's on my phone. I'm driving, but hands are on the steering wheel. It's fine. But yeah, I'm just talking to you. And whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're going through, I love you. Dead ass. So, I don't know. I guess that's it. What you doing? Where your sorry husband at? I need to go find that video. I hate that I never like got on. I never had like my only Vine account. I was only seeing Vines on Facebook when we started doing all the videos and shit on Facebook. That was my one of my favorite memes. I still say now. Where your sorry husband at? Don't tell me, Bob. I'm standing here. Talk about Bob and love you. All right. I actually don't. What is this feeling? I actually don't want to press stop. This is so weird. I think it's like me just communing with my own energy. Okay, real time. Okay, so I'm hearing. Okay, I'm hearing and seeing at the same time. Okay, so hold on, it's still coming in. It's like when they talk about the 3D being a reflection. It's so crazy. This is funny. This is so funny. Okay, so it's still coming in. That's why I keep hesitating. Okay, so 3D being a reflection. Like not change. Like basically, like you can't want the 3D to change without you changing internally. It's basically saying you can't be standing in front of a mirror wearing a red shirt, but you want the reflection to change to a blue shirt. Like, no, bitch, you gotta go take the red shirt off and go put the blue shirt on, and then the reflection changes. The reflection only reflects back what you are, who you are, what you're being. And I think it's because it's like I don't want to leave this energy, this communion of energy, even though like right now, like it's me with myself, but because I have the intention and the outpouring of like love and like putting like shining my heart space out into the ether, into the grid, into the cosmos, quantum. That's the word I was coming for. And because I have the genuine intention and love for whoever potentially comes across this video, even if the one somebody is just me, I have that full like unconditional love, and I only want the best for you, and I only want You know, I only see you as healed. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I only see you as healed. But I only see you as healed and whole and perfect. And it hit me like that because I'm literally, I'm literally seeing myself in the fucking reflection because I have my front facing camera on. And so, like I said, even if just the one person is me, hi self, I love you. I'm sitting down and doing this. It's just been like, this is flow, this is alignment, this is $100 million in my bank account. This is what I'll be doing, just sitting, whether I'm talking to myself or I'm on a Zoom call with 5,000 people and we're having a video conference about, you know, mental rehearsal, and we're optimizing and healing ourselves and seeing ourselves as perfect. But yeah, that it just hit me in that moment of all the love and the great intentions I'm pouring out for everyone else. And also, I am constantly pouring out for myself, but it was just in that moment, I guess. It's like I saw myself and I realized, like, I am talking to myself, but I'm talking to, like, I am having a conversation, like, with my energy, but also with your energy, with whoever. And like I said, whether it's just I am the one view or 100 million views, like it the intention, the love, the energy, the energetics of it is all the same. Whether you see this video is being made. What's today? I don't fucking know what day it is. June. What's today? June 26th, 2025. Whether you see it June 27th, 2025, or you see it in fucking 2052. Like, the energy is still there, the love is still there, and I don't know. I love you. And I'm about to take my L222 on the on the they say on the timer, but I mean, I guess you could call it a timer, but stop it. I love you. 222.